Hey guys, good afternoon. It's Angelo Christian Financial. Thank you so much for watching our podcast, Real Estate Insider. It's where America goes for funding. For the last 20 years, we're a nationwide commercial and residential lender. And one of the things we're going to be talking about today is actually how to read a closing disclosure. Guys, if you're out there and you're going to be purchasing real estate, especially if you're doing residential, you're going to be giving something called a closing disclosure, or other known as a CD, and it's an outline or breakdown of your closing. And we're going to go over the shoulder on the camera and go through a closing disclosure to educate you guys and teach you about how to read a closing disclosure, how to interpret it so you can understand what the terms and the condition of your loan are. It's really important that when you're looking at your closing disclosure that you understand what it is, because your realtor probably knows what it is and your lender knows what it is, but do you know what a closing disclosure is? And a lot of people, millions of Americans, they buy a home every single year and they have no idea what they're signing. And so a big thing about Angelo Christian, we wanted to make sure that you know before you owe what exactly you're signing, understanding the closing disclosure. So this is a sample of a closing disclosure right here. And it's fairly straightforward. You know, it shows, we're just going to kind of look at it real quick. It says closing disclosure. It shows the dates of the loan, your loan number, your sales price, you know, pretty basic information, your name, seller's name, the type of loan that you're doing, the term of the loan right here on the right side. And as you scroll through it, it shows the terms of the loan. It says the loan amount here in this example is $162,000. The interest rate is 3.875. And it shows to the right of it, if this amount can increase after closing, it says no. That means that the rate will not change, your loan amount will not change, your principal and interest is $761.78. That will not change. Then it'll ask you, does the loan have a prepayment penalty? And it says this loan does have a prepayment penalty. And if you pay it off early, that it could be as high as $3,240 for paying off the loan early. It says that there is no balloon. It also shows the projected payments through years 1 through 7 and years 8 through 30. It shows how much your mortgage insurance is, your taxes and insurance. Here it shows what your total closing costs are, how much money you have to bring to closing, and then a breakdown of the closing right here. It shows all the costs associated with the loan, the lender cost, the servicing fees for appraisal, credit report, flood fees, tax fees, surveys, titles, you know, all of that stuff, all broken down, itemized, so you can actually understand what you're being charged for, okay? So, and I highly recommend that you spend the time to go through this video so you can understand how to read your closing disclosure so you're not blindsided. And you're going to be giving this closing disclosure 3 days before you go to closing. Your lender has to issue this to you 3 days before you go to closing, and then you can ask questions and things like that. And it shows here in the beginning on the table, the left, which is your initial loan estimate, and your final closing disclosure, the comparison. And it shows here that in the beginning and the estimate, your cash to close was $16,054, and then it went down to $14,147. And so it'll show you the beginning what you were disclosed and the end what your final terms were. So very, very important stuff here, guys. You know, has all the breakdown of your escrow account, you know, how much you have to bring to closing, how much the seller's getting. Really, really key things here. This last page is not really anything pertinent, and neither is this final page. The key to the closing disclosure is the first few pages here. Is obviously the page 1, and I would say page 2, and then page 3. The rest, page 4 and 5, is just, you know, fluff in my opinion. But those first 3 pages are very important, and you want to make sure that you understand how to read them, how to interpret them. You can come back to this video. Also on the YouTube video, you can download a copy of this. This is a sample. This is not a real customer's closing disclosure. It's a sample. We don't, you know, obviously it's just a sample, but you can download it and take a look at it and study it, because you want to make sure that when you go to closing, you understand what your payment is, what your interest rate is, how much money are you bringing to closing. All of these things are very important. So I highly recommend you go through this video to educate yourself, before you get into your closing. So if you have any questions or we can help you with any loan funding, as you know, we're open 7 days a week for you. You can call or text our office from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The number is 832-431-6331. You can also click on the link in the YouTube description. You can actually sign up there to get pre-approved, and we'll contact you right away to help you to get you pre-approved for your home loan. We do all different types of loans: jumbo, FHA, VA, USDA, Helocs, hard money, private loans, no doc loans. So please reach out to us. And if you know anyone that's looking to buy a house and maybe they're a first-time buyer, share this video with them, because so that way they can learn about the closing disclosure, how to read it and how to understand it, so that way they're ready to go. Thank you so much.